Okay.
My daughter made this for me one year.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow.
And this, not being the same car, is still pretty cool.
Very cool. I love it.
I'll put them on your seat.
Yeah. Thank you. I can't wait to drink from that cup.
Yeah. All right, well, don't get wet. Be careful. Be good. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
It's been fun. Appreciate you helping me getting it running. That was fun for me, so.
Yeah.
See ya.
Take care.
Oh, I gotta make sure of his, Decided to just come and grab the Skylark. I had it running and I was thinking I'd get it driving, but it didn't make it out of the driveway. So I bought a new intake manifold gasket, and I bought a carburetor rebuild kit, and I was gonna come out and do all that stuff and try to drive it to the farm. But I got a call from Steve, the guy I bought it from. He said that he sold his house and he needed the car out of here by the end of May. So that gave me 2 weeks to get the car out of here. Is that right? Yeah, because it's almost Memorial Day 2024, and this car had to go. There's a Plymouth Trail Duster with a camper on it sitting up there, and I called the guy and asked if he wanted to sell it, and he is receptive to selling it. When I offered him $2,500, he didn't. The communication ceased at that point. So I'm gonna try texting him back. It's been probably 3-4 months now, 3 months. I'm gonna try to text him back and see if he has any interest in selling me that truck, because that's my dream truck, man. Well, the Ram Charger. But anyways, got the Buick on the trailer, and I'm taking it to Denver, and I'm probably not going to work on it at all in Denver. I'm going to just probably leave it on the trailer and tow it out to the farm, and then she runs pretty good, but I think it's leaking coolant into the intake manifold. So I'm finally having a chance to mess around with the Buick again. I did a really bad job of videoing it. When I went to pick it up, I was just in such a hurry to get out of there before this massive storm came. Didn't end up being that bad, but I did not want to drive the trailer home in flash flooding, so I just kind of focused on getting the car loaded up. It didn't start. I really thought it was going to start, but for some reason it wouldn't. I couldn't get the fuel pump to, I think it just needed to be purged or whatever. So by the time I got it home, I went up on the trailer and I cracked a couple fuel lines and started it, and it started for me. So with a little bit of ether. So, but it went straight to that high idle that it was doing, which is the reason I didn't drive it to the farm from where I bought it. I found that this little lever for the choke was not on, so I put that back on. I don't think that's the problem, because that wouldn't have been the problem when I was out where I bought it. It might help. I've looked for vacuum leaks. I am going to turn this idle screw down a little bit, and maybe it will idle, maybe it won't, but I think that I still need to rebuild this carburetor. I did buy a carburetor rebuild kit, and I bought an intake manifold gasket that I can put on. I don't think that's really doing anything. I do not hear any gas in there. Oh, that's right, there was a problem with the accelerator pump. I'm not sure why I didn't bring my parts home. I left them at the farm, so the rebuild kit and the intake manifold gasket are at the farm. So I can't do any of that here, but let's just start it and see if I can get it to idle. Normally I'd like to take it for a little drive, but let's just see what happens here. That sure started up and it was idling really nice. I don't know, I can't explain it, but she sure is running nice right now. So this door cannot open from this side because he accidentally ran it into a propane tank, and so it's got jammed back this way, and I think I'm going to have to pull the fender off, which I'm not sure if I can do without opening the door. So I'm really not sure how I'm going to fix that, but I'm going to have to get creative. She's running rich, man. The garage open, I can't even breathe in here. So, oh man. I don't know why it's so strong. So, my plan, I got to get it out enough to where it clears this fender. Probably won't be bad to get just a new fender at some point, because I'm gonna have to fix all this anyways, and this. So maybe I'll just try to get myself a new fender, and I won't worry too much about ruining it. But I got rust down here. It's got these kinks from when the door hit it, and I don't know what's happened up here, but there's some Bondo up here. So maybe a new fender is in order. So let's see if we can get this door open. Well, that's opened. You can kind of see how far back it has to come. I'll show you the other door. I can't believe I got in this thing and was ready to drive it to the farm, and it just wouldn't go. Somehow I got to get this door to come back out. Wish I could grab onto this somehow and just pull it out, or if that would fix it. I don't have any way to do that. I do have one of these. Try not to break the windshield. This just seems like it could do more damage than good. So I'm gonna lay that down before someone gets hurt. Bummer. The door's kind of bent in and the fender's kind of bent out. Before I did this, I probably should have tried to hammer the door in a little bit. was that? Opens way up now. Piece that fell out was a shim like this one. So I guess that went like, broke off of here, I believe. Yeah. So you could probably bend these up. I'll have to get one of those. So I think what actually happened with this car is he had the door wide open. Now I can see that the door was wide open. I just don't understand why this is dented in. I think it just pushed out this way pretty far. I don't know how you straighten those out. I just don't know. Just kind of slowly trying to work it to where it will eventually oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. So I just put this thing in here and forced the door closed against it on top and bottom. It actually closes now. So now I'm going to set the floor jack under this and lift it up because it's just not hitting good here. So I need to lift this back up, and that should, I think it actually might not be too far off.
It doesn't look safe. Oh, you're trying to bend the door.
Yeah, I'm trying to bend the door.
How are you going to get in it to drive it to Nebraska?
Other side.
Oh.
These should be, there shouldn't be much of a gap here. These should be almost all the way over. So that's like ½ inch. This whole thing needs to go that way. The only way I can really get any leverage on it is to pry against the fender, which isn't really very ideal, but doesn't really move it in much. They've gained this whole, this used to be up tight against the fender. Ain't pretty, but I can get in and out of the side now. That's kind of what I wanted to achieve. You can tell that the whole door needs to come back. I'm not sure how to fix that. I mean, I guess I could heat them up and I can get out to the farm. I can take the door off, I can take the fender off, and I can try to figure out. I'm not sure. Oh, I've broken all these things now. Where do you get those? Tell you what, breaking those things off sure makes the car not squeak anymore. So, alright. Dang. I don't know if I made it that much worse. That was there. That dent was there. Definitely boogered up this edge, but this whole fender is, I think, ready for replacement anyway. So, anyways, that was my goal. I guess I wish it was just looked great, but close your doors before you back up. How do you like my shop back? My mom gave me this Electrolux long time ago because she had a couple of them, and this is what she always used. When I was growing up, this is what we cleaned our house with. So she gave me her spare one, and I've just always kept it out in the garage and used it for my shop vac. I think it's a really cool little vacuum cleaner though, kind of retro. So I'm hoping to get this thing to a point where I can drive it out to the farm, and right now where it's at is it's leaking transmission fluid really bad out of the output shaft seal. So I'm going to try to replace that. Other than that, it seems like it's doing okay. I still would consider rebuilding the carburetor and putting that new intake manifold gasket on, checking the rear differential fluid, maybe bleeding the brakes and some things like that, and then I think it would be safe to drive out to the farm. So, or at least take on a cool road trip somewhere. Oops. Oh wow, look at this. There's a bolt that's in there. That's like come out. That might be my whole problem. Look at that bolt that came out. Well, now I gotta figure out how to get that seal out of there. Let that drain for a little bit, I think. Wow, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Oh man, this is not going good. Oh man. So lowering the car gets the drive shaft a little bit longer for some reason because of the geometry kind of stuff. And so I'm gonna lower it a little bit to try to get that U-joint to seat. Yeah, that's perfectione. I actually don't feel comfortable with how high up this one side is, but seems to be holding okay. Kind of sketchy. I think I should have done it in 2 stages. Lowered the other side a little bit and then taken this one out and then gone back over the other side and taken the other side out. It's only this much height, but it's just kind of, I feel it's a little sketchy, and I think you could actually tweak your frame doing this. Okay, let's get her on out. I guess it went okay, but I wouldn't do it that way again. I bet I'm the only one drinking hot coffee right now. It's getting warm out. It's going to be in the 90s again today. It's hard for me to believe that the hood only opens up this much. I guess you would need to get longer. We should have to put this here. Huh. Kind of a crazy design. It's like for short people. It is a really small car overall. So I'm going to add transmission fluid back in. I'm going to start it, top it off, and hope and pray that it does not leak anymore. trying to put this bent bumper back on and it doesn't totally make sense to me. It's got these bolts which line up with these holes on both sides, and then it's got these, it's got a threaded hole here, threaded hole over here, and these slotted holes, and the slotted holes line up with this hole, so that other threaded hole is like over here, and then the other threaded hole is like way over here. So I was thinking maybe this was not the right bumper, but, and then it's pretty tweaked, but it fits nice over here, and then once you get to where that it got hit, then it kind of goes a little wonky, but overall it looks better on there than not having it on there. The guy I bought the car from told me he had taken the bumper off so that he could open the trunk because he said he couldn't get the key in. He didn't have any of the hardware for it, or I didn't ask him for it, but I would have assumed he would have given it to me if he had it. I went and bought these bolts, which were too short because I thought I was going to put them through here, thread them into this hole, and then I found out that one, I don't know how to measure because these are about an inch, at least an inch too short. And the other thing is that hole doesn't line up with this, it lines up with this. Or I should say this hole lines up with this hole. So I found some all thread laying around the garage, and I'm like, I'm just going to use that as temporary, which means it'll be permanent until I could figure out what's going on with this bumper. And then I do want to get it straightened out, and so I'm going to try and put a nut on either side of this slotted hole with the washer, and then cut the all thread, put a nut on the other side. I got some nylocks for the other side, and hopefully that will hold it on temporarily like. So let's see how this goes. I'm not sure why he took the bumper off, but looks better because it's on there, but I'll definitely have to pull it off and fix it. I'm going to try to put some double stick tape up here to, thinking this headliner might be, I mean, it's really not torn or anything. It might be able to be sewn back up if I'm really careful with it, but probably not. Should probably just tear it out. Just temporary, so I can drive around. I'm going to take the tack off because I don't see a need for it really, and he had it on because he was actually driving this thing over at Bandamere, which I've never done, and Now Bandamere is going away. First drive since the last time I drove it. Let's see how she did. That went back to high idle. Feels pretty hot, but no overflow, so I don't know. I don't know why it goes to that high idle. What would cause that high idle? Well, we're just going to rebuild this carburetor, aren't we? Well, seems that the battery is dead, so that means the alternator is not working, I guess. I guess it's got an old generator. All right, so generator does not seem to be working. This thing would have never made it to the farm that day. I love that it's untouched, but I also wish that it was a little bit more touched. We got some stuff to do, don't we? So that is going to do it for now. Next steps, generator. Actually, I'm going to check the generator voltage now. It was pretty scary. The neighborhood I live in has some pretty good hills, and I started losing confidence in the brakes when I was going down these hills. They seem to work pretty good, but I haven't even looked at them, and I probably shouldn't have taken it out for a drive without doing a brake inspection, because it's got the old one line coming out of the... That's the master cylinder. Well, it actually goes in 3 different directions. I wonder if that kind of compensates for the single. So I was going to test the e-brake. I wasn't sure. I mean, I was going down this really steep hill, and I'm like, oh, if I lose my brakes right now, it's going to be bad. I think what I'll do is park this thing for a couple days, couple weeks, and then when I get back into it, I do want to check the differential fluid. I'll go through the brakes a little bit. I think I will try to put that intake manifold gasket on and rebuild the carburetor. And now I have the generator to the list. So those 14 things: carburetor, intake manifold, generator, brakes, rear differential, wiper blades, seat covers, stuff like that. And definitely the nicest car as far as being complete, well, minus the 944. That one was actually drivable, but this one's drivable, but it's got some issues. I was under the impression when I bought this car that it really didn't need anything, but it needs some things. So thank you guys for watching, and hope to get another video out on this car very soon. My next goal, Molly and I are working on the plaster in the little house. And then the other thing I'm trying to get done is I'm still working on the 81 Chevy a little bit. I did buy some tools for the carburetor on that, and I want to try to get the bug running. We'll go from there. Thanks, guys. I can't wait to drink from that cup.